Right, we're on. Reds cast back. Season's back. How are we,
Morning.
Steve?
Ah, fantastic. This season 3, episode 1 are we on now, is it?
Yeah, season 3, episode 1, third season of the Reds cast, which is a bit mad. Started in the middle of the season we won the league, didn't we? Just after the United game, when we
Yes.
was that when we put the nail in Mourinho's coffin? Was it that game?
Um, I'd have to go back and watch it, but I really, really, really hope so.
I feel like that was the
I'd
game.
like to think we had a little.
Yeah, I feel like that was the game where Shaqiri pretty much ended Mourinho's career at United. I'm not too sure. I could
Was
be
that?
wrong.
No, I don't think that was the season we won the league. Was it the season we won the league? Is where Mo got that last minute. Well, not last minute, but where he broke away from that Allison assist on it.
Oh, yeah, that was the year we won. But that was at Anfield. I'm trying to think with
But
Mourinho.
let's get it right. This year we're going to win the league as well. And
I'm
we're very
quietly
lucky.
confident myself. I am. I'm quietly confident. Like quite a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, City are going to win the league. If it's not City, it's Chelsea." And for me, it's just a bit like, why are they going to win the league? We've got the likes of Van Dijk, Gomez returning, which then's allowing the likes of Fabinho to play in midfield, Hendo to play in midfield. Konate's being brought in, who looks like a unit. I still think we're going to bring in an attacker, probably not before the first game of the season, but we can win the league, can't we, Steve?
Yeah, so don't get me wrong. City is strong. Chelsea is strong. Chelsea have just got Lukaku in, haven't they?
Yeah.
He's going to be a handful. So City have got Grealish, although I'm not sure he's going to make a massive amount of difference up at City. Good player, technical player, but the amount of good technical players they've got up there, he's just one amongst many.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with Jack Grealish. Now, he's a world-class player. I love him at Liverpool, but the way I look at it is, I'm not going to compare him to Christian Benteke, but Benteke was the big man at Aston Villa before Liverpool come and
Yeah.
bought him, and then he made that step to the next level, and he just couldn't do it, and it sort of ruined Benteke's career because he hasn't found the form since Liverpool. Now, I'm not saying Jack Grealish is going to come in and flop, but to pay £100 million for a player who's never played European football, and now when you look at the pot system, City could end up in a group with the likes of PSG, Atletico Madrid, and stuff like that, where, not Atletico, Barcelona, Real Madrid, where Liverpool pretty much got it easier this year. So could Jack Grealish step up to the place in terms of going into games with the likes of Mbappe's and Messi's in one team? I don't know, because we've never seen him. But I do think
I think he has got it in him. He is a really, really talented footballer.
Yeah.
He's definitely got the ability. I just don't think he makes a massive amount of difference to City because they've got that already.
But there's already been talk of changing his position, hasn't it, to the number 8 at City? And I'm just like, why? He's so effective on that left-hand side. But I was watching the overlap, Gary Neville's thing with Carragher on the other day, and Carragher summed Jack Grealish up perfectly because he was saying the thing with Jack Grealish is he likes time on the ball. He likes to draw in fouls and get the fouls to make the free kicks, etc., etc. Where at City, is he going to get that amount of time on the ball? He was doubled up at Aston Villa, but then with Manchester City, you don't get as much time when you're a team like City or you're a team like Liverpool who are going to say Norwich, like Liverpool are on the weekend. We're not going to get as much time as Jack Grealish would, say, with Aston Villa playing Norwich, are we?
I don't know. That's hard to say. Because as you say, at Villa, he was the man that everyone targeted. So the second he got the ball, they were on him. Where at City, he's one amongst about 7 players there where you would want to double up on all of them and you can't. So he might get a little bit more time on the ball because, there's 2 players getting zagged away to Gundogan or to De Bruyne or, Bernardo Silva, whoever. They've got they've got a multitude of players there who opposition teams will want to double up on.
See,
he's not going to be the target anymore.
My theory, let me tell you this, with Manchester City this year is they're going to flop. Now, the reason I think they're going to flop is because you've got players like Sterling, Jesus. Now, Gabriel Jesus, if you don't get Harry Kane, is their focal point. He is going to be their number 9. He's being tried to be included in the Harry Kane deal. You've got Raheem Sterling who's being offered, Laporte who's being offered. Players aren't happy because they're getting offered out to go and in the Kane deal. Then you've got the likes of Phil Foden. Surely he's a bit fuming at the season of his life, and then they go and spend 100 million on Jack Grealish. Like, Jack Grealish plays the same position as Phil Foden, so I think there's going to be a little bit of like disarray, so to speak, in the Man City squad. I mean, Raheem Sterling, we seen him at Liverpool when he wanted to leave, he was horrible. Now City are willingly trying to get rid of him for Harry Kane. And they've basically said to Tottenham, you can have Sterling, you can have Jesus, or you can have Laporte. Now, that's 3 players who you're disrupting. I don't think Ruben Diaz is as good as people make out. I think last season the whole Premier League was poor. And when you actually look, City only conceded 4 fewer goals last season than they did without Ruben Diaz. So I don't think he's as hyped up as people are making him out to be. And I think if they're going to spend 260 million on Jack Grealish and Harry Kane, fair play to them, because Harry Kane's 28, and if you spend 150 million pounds on a 28-year-old, I think you're stupid.
Yeah, I was the same as the City fan that we work with. He'll probably get you goals. You can't doubt his goal scoring ability. At his age, he started to pick up injuries. I think they might get 20 games out of him this year. They'll probably get 12 or 15 goals out of him.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
He missed a few games last year, didn't he, for Tottenham?
Yeah, he missed quite a few games last year. He picked up a couple of ankle injuries and stuff. So I reckon he might get 20, 25 games maximum in the league out of him this year. So they'll be lucky to get 15 goals out of him. And it's a big, big risk for them. Getting back to why we're here, this isn't a Man City podcast. Let's talk about the Reds.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Liverpool, now, loads of fans are fuming about our transfer business this summer, saying that we aren't spending enough. I think it does go down to do I think when Shaqiri goes to Lyon, for example, we're going to bring somebody in? Absolutely. I think Saul's all but done, myself.
Really?
Yeah, I do, because like we've got 17 foreign players. Now, it's all well and good saying, well, just don't register them in the Premier League and go and buy someone, but then if you don't go and register, say, Divock Origi in the Premier League, you're paying him 60 grand a week to sit on the bench and only play in the Carabao Cup or FA Cup games. So people are going mad where Klopp's...
Doesn't make sense, that.
Yeah, Klopp's come out and said, we don't need any players. And the journalists have ran away with it, saying, Liverpool's window's done. It's not done. Klopp clearly said, if someone goes, then someone can come in. But
I think what he was getting at, Klopp, was just quantity of players, not quality.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a squad full of players there. A lot of, there's a few bits of deadwood there that do need to go, but numbers-wise, how can he bring players in? He's only allowed a certain amount of players in that squad, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we could bring an English player and you could, like, Jared Bowen, or quite interesting is Jeremy Doku is actually because he's under 21, he wouldn't be registered. So that could be one to look at, and the rumours have heated up with that in recent weeks. And he did actually come to Melwood 4 years ago, Jeremy Doku, and have a look around Melwood. Klopp shown him round, and he was told he was the Sadio Mane replacement. And one thing I like about him is he was 15 at the time, and he said, I'm not ready for Liverpool, and if they want me, they'll come back in when I'm 20, 22. And he was right. Liverpool have came back in for him. But if we were to end the transfer window tomorrow, I'm happy. I'm quite happy with the business now. People just like to see signings every year, but
yeah, just for the sake of it, isn't it? And it doesn't make sense.
Is. So people are fuming we didn't bring Kabak back in. Now, I strongly believe he was just to bide our time until we got the main man, which we've seen with Van Dijk, and our main man this year was Konate. Now, I'm more swaying to think, I think Thiago is the Genie replacement, and he come in a year early to learn from Genie. Because that midfield three is going to be Hendo, Thiago and Fabinho. Now, and then you've got Harvey Elliott, who's massively impressed me. I think, I'll dare I say it, I think Harvey Elliott's probably overtaking Curtis Jones in the pecking order at Liverpool now, in this pre-season.
Yeah, if you're going to put them in the same position, I think he's had a much better pre-season. It seems like Klopp has put him in that midfield rather than on the wing, isn't it? I tell you what, Curtis Jones got one hell of a knock, didn't he, in that last friendly? Did you see it?
Yeah. He's missed. He's out for the Norwich game. I think he'll probably be back for Burnley next week because concussions. What, about a week, 2 weeks? He'll probably be about 2 weeks since then now.
Yeah.
That he's back.
Yeah, that felt bad. They didn't take it too friendly at the beginning of the game, did they?
Well, no Spanish teams do. If you remember, think it was 2 or 3
we
years
were in
ago.
America, weren't we?
It was against Sevilla, and they were just snapping players. And then it was Sevilla, I think, who's injured Wesley Fofana for Leicester, and he's out for.
They done in. Do you remember that left back, that Larucci that we've got? I don't know whether he's still there, but no, we were over in America. They snapped his leg. Yeah,
Larucci's went to one of City's feeder clubs.
Okay.
So he's a mank now.
yeah.
But like with the window, like in terms of midfield, I think Liverpool are running the club properly. I'm not an FSG lover. I'm not an FSG inner by any stretch of the margin. But in my opinion, when you look at the midfield stack, would I like Saul in this team? 100%. He's one of the best midfielders in the world. But do we need Saul in this team? Probably not. When you look at, we've got Keita, Henderson, Fabinho, Elliott, Jones, Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's 7 midfielders for 3 positions. If anything, we probably need an attacker more because we've got Bobby, Salah, Mane and Jota. So we probably need a more...
Minamino to be... Let's give Minamino the credit he deserves, because...
That's another thing I said to someone the other day. I think Minamino's a new signing, and everyone was like, oh, behave yourself, Matty, like, he's going to go. But genuinely, I honestly think that the reason we loaned Minamino to Southampton in January was because we knew he weren't getting into our team. He still, up until January, had not had a pre-season with Klopp, because he came in during the COVID, we won the league, and then it was like a 2-week break, weren't it? And then you were back into the league again. So he hasn't had a proper pre-season with Klopp. Now, Minamino has been in the pre-season from the off, from day one, with Klopp and with the players and Milner and stuff. So he's had that full training camp in Austria every day, the double sessions. He's massively impressed me in pre-season, to be honest.
He's looked sharp, he's looked hungry,
yeah.
He's just looked on it, hasn't he?
But that game against Osasuna was... I thought he was unbelievable. I remember watching him when he played for Salzburg. I was like, wow, he's some player. And we haven't seen that yet. Now, did Klopp loan Minamino to Southampton to get minutes and bide his time to take him through a pre-season and see how he done? Probably. If he had a bad pre-season, would he have went? Probably. But he hasn't. Yeah. He really hasn't. So
he's been flying, hasn't he? And it's really, really, you know what made me so happy over these past couple of weeks, right? Seeing Bobby Firmino.
Yeah.
Just seeing him flying again, because put him in front of the fans, he's an entertainer, isn't he? And like it's like a different player. I sort of lost a little bit of heart with him last year.
Yeah. What do you think? Like Bobby with fans is different, isn't it? Like that's like basically like a new signing, having the fans back with Bobby.
Having the fans back is going to have an enormous impact for us, which is why I think quite confident here that we are going to win the league. Like, as I said, other teams have improved and other teams have strengthened, and people might think we haven't.
Yeah.
Look, like, how good were we that year we won the league?
Unbelievable.
And what was the difference between that year and last year?
No fans and no fans.
These are no fans, right? They're the two things. Now, we've got the fans back and we've got them players back. We're going to be flying again. I'm like, I've never been more confident in my life. Normally it's you that's going on, we're going to win 5-0 and all that every week, and we're going to win the league. I'm telling you, we're winning this league.
See, that I am, as myself, I'm in the same boat as you. I am overly confident. I seen the match of the day predictions the other day, and they've all put us like 3rd and 4th. Even like ex-Liverpool players like Lawrence and Danny Murphy, they've all said City or Chelsea are going to win the league. Now, why will Chelsea win the league? Lukaku, fair enough, has when him smashed it into. That's why he's come back at so much money. But he was poor at Chelsea and he was poor at United. He was only good at Everton in the Premier League. He's went to Serie A, fair enough, made a bit of a name for himself. But do I think he comes and wins Chelsea the league? No.
No, he does. He's help, but he's not going to be pivotal.
It'll be interesting to see who Tuchel goes with in terms of Werner or Pulisic as well, because I think if Liverpool's business isn't done, although Werner had a poor season last year, I still think Klopp could improve. And why can't we go and lowball Chelsea? They're notorious for getting rid of their players too soon. Salah, De Bruyne, Lukaku. Why can't we just go and shaft them?
I would absolutely give Werner a chance. He was. I mean, is this going on the radio? No, he was absolute dog shit last year. Like he was awful. He couldn't finish his dinner. everything he done just turned to shit last year. But players at them seasons, Sadio Mane was a bit shit last season, wasn't he?
I'd go as far as
saying... That doesn't mean he's a rubbish player.
I'd go as far as saying everyone but Mo Salah was shit for Liverpool last year, Steve.
So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that doesn't mean he's a bad player. It just means he had a bad season. And as I've seen him in interviews on, Soccer AM and Sky Sports and all that, it seems like he's got quite a sort of positive attitude about everything, and I don't think last season's going to affect him too much mentally.
I've seen a few of them interviews where you can see that he seems ready, doesn't he? He seems like he is ready to go. And another thing that people are, I think, overlooking a little bit, and I've seen someone put it on Twitter as well 2 or 3 days ago saying people are overlooking just how important a fully revitalised Jurgen Klopp is to this Liverpool side. Now, Jurgen Klopp's had 3 weeks off.
He looked mentally fucked, didn't he, last year at points, because he'd been through a lot.
Yeah, and he's just had 3 weeks off with his family. He is charged. You can just see the way he's speaking, the way he is on training pitches. Now, obviously, we don't know Jurgen Klopp. He could be gutted. He could be depressed, wanting to leave Liverpool. But from the outside looking in, I think he is revitalised again. And this is a Jurgen Klopp who's like, right, let's get back down to business. And
he's lost the gigs as well, hasn't he?
I don't like it.
Like, I think, you know what? I think he's preparing for a season of celebration, so he doesn't want to get them knocked off the head again. I'm going to get laser surgery done, so don't get me gigged.
I mean, I know I've seen him doing it in pre-season. I was like, yeah, it's probably just in training. And then the headshots went live yesterday, I think, or the day before. And I was already fuming because I seen Karius manage to finally get an headshot. So obviously he's staying around for a year.
Oh, well, Mr. Model there's got to get his face in.
I know, and then I seen Klopp's and I was like, why has he took his... Like, every year, the evolution of Klopp, he always had his glasses on. And he's just not got them. So obviously he's been for laser eye surgery over the summer, but I just don't think he looks like Jurgen Klopp. I'll take some getting used to.
I need to know what his missus looks like, because the team I signed up for play at Formby. So I've got to keep my eye out for his missus when walking around watching us playing.
I think she's called Ula or something like that, isn't she? Oh. Yeah, I remember him saying that when we won the league the Champions League when they done that tour. But in terms of like summer business, I'm happy. Like, at the whole purpose. Now you see people in the grounds and they say, "Oh, I'd love for the kids to get a chance." Now I remember when Trent got his debut, Curtis Jones got his debut, even as far back as probably, I mean, I was very young, but Steven Gerrard's debut, when Scousers come through, when Ben Woodburn was the youngest goal scorer, when you see Scousers getting a go, all the fans absolutely love it because they want Scousers to do well. But then as soon as you're bringing people through the academy who are impressing, it's like, oh, we need a big signing. Like Adam Rowe, even the best tweet I've ever seen. If Harvey Elliott came from Spain and cost 22 million, people would be creaming the pants for him. But because he's cost absolutely. 4 million from Fulham, everyone's like, oh, we need a new signing. He is a new signing.
He's not the only one as well. If you look through that pre-season, some of the players, like fringe players and youth players that were coming through, Kane, Clarkson, say Woodburn, had a good go. There was a few players there, and you look and you go, like, that playing them is less of a risk than bringing someone in from a foreign league or, spending 25 million on whoever. You've got a player there who looks not the finished article by any stretch, but comfortable in that team and comfortable in that system, and not a massive risk to throw him in the team.
And what you want to look at is, we've got Thiago Henderson and Fabinho in the midfield. Whoever comes in is not starting. So someone like Harvey Elliott's happy to sit on the bench and get any minutes he can.
Might not even get on the bench.
Yeah.
As we said, look at the other players you've got there. You've got Chamberlain, Keita, Minamino, amongst Curtis Jones. You've got like so many players there, and one's going to come in and sit on the bench.
If Naby Keita can play like he has in pre-season, he is a new signing. If you can keep Naby Keita fit this year, he is a new signing, because we have never seen Naby Keita play for Liverpool for more than 4 games. I think pre-season broke his record of consecutive games. Like, that shows how bad his injury record's been. Now, we brought someone in towards the end of last season to work with Naby Keita around his injuries, and he hasn't been injured since. So potentially we could see the Naby Keita we spent £50 million for 3 years ago. And if that's the case, then that's like a new player as well. So I think that's what people need to realise. And then you look at the likes of Kostas Tsimikas. I think he's going to push Andy Robertson this year.
He's gone in my fantasy team, Tsimikas.
Because of Robbo's injury.
Because of Robbo's injury and how good he's been. I was like, dead cheap, going to play, probably going to get assists, probably going to get clean sheets. And anyone listening, get on the Redscast fantasy football team.
I know I'm going to put the code up here now. We're giving away a home shirt. I mean, I've done it and was like, at the end of the season, that home shirt's old. So if you did win,
yeah, but it's going to be the Premier League winners.
Yeah, if you win the league, you can either have a choice of this season's home, away, or third kit, or next season's home, away, or third kit. I just put win the home shirt because too much instructions saying if you win, you can have one of 6 kits. But yeah, someone gets a top if they win. I'm terrible at it. I'll probably give up on it in about 2 weeks, so I'll be at the bottom. But I'm confident, quietly confident. Looking ahead to the game, then tomorrow, last time we played Norwich, first game of the season.
Matty, how good does that sound? The game tomorrow. Like, it feels like an eternity where we've had a proper game.
I'll be honest, I'm a lot more looking forward to the Burnley game, purely because the first game of the season's away. And that friendly on Sunday, we played Athletic Bilbao. It wasn't a full stadium, but walking up them steps onto the Kop, I got them goosebumps I got when my dad first took me to match, because it had been 2 years since you'd been in the ground. Like, that You'll Never Walk Alone before kickoff was unbelievable, and you could feel how loud it was just being in the crowd. And then I come out the ground and you're seeing people on Twitter saying like, this is amazing, and it was just like amazing to be back. But then that was obviously only a fraction of what that atmosphere can be like, because there was a lot of families and stuff who were going for the friendly. Where first game of the season against Burnley at Anfield, that ground will be shaking. I'm very excited for the Norwich game tomorrow, but I am well more looking forward to getting to Anfield next week. I honestly don't care about tomorrow, to be honest. I just want us to go in there.
How dare you?
I just want three points.
Absolutely batter Norwich. 3
points, Jota hat-trick for me fantasy footy, and then on to Burnley. But how are you feeling about the Norwich game now? A transfer room channel I'm part of, LFC transfer room, Jack spoke to Michael Bailey from the Athletic, who said he feels as though Norwich have learned the mistakes this year from what they learned 2 years ago. Now, with Norwich, their best players were Todd Cantwell and Ben Dwyer. Now, Ben Dwyer's went to Villa. And
Cantwell's just been injured, hasn't
he? Yeah, and Pukki, when he come up 2 years ago, he had set the championship like the year before. We haven't really heard his name. Now, I can honestly say I've seen Teemu Pukki last year twice when Blackburn played against Norwich, and I was watching RB Elliott. Other than that, I don't pay much attention to the championship. I mean, I look out for Swansea's results and Bristol's results, just for 2 local lads to me who play there. But in terms of Norwich, I don't know what to expect. I remember saying to you when we played Norwich 2 seasons ago that I really, really like the way they play football, the way they set up, the way they'll come to Anfield and not sit back and have a go. Do you reckon we can expect that tomorrow, or do you think they would have learned the lesson and they are going to maybe sit back a bit more?
I think probably they're going to be a little bit more pragmatic. I think they will have learned the lesson, and it's all very well playing football, trying to do it, the attractive way. It's getting you relegated, mate, and
no
I think someone at some point has got to go, hang on a minute, let's just try and get through a few games here first. So I think they're probably going to sit back a little bit. They're not going to come at us because, I feel sorry for any team who comes at us, because we'll just pick them off. We've got no chance.
And I think this season as well, them players have got a point to prove than Liverpool players. Now,
for sure, yeah.
I think it'll do their heads in that they haven't been able to, and it should do their heads in that they haven't been able to parade that Premier League trophy to the fans. So they need to go and win that again and have that moment with us. Now, I know Genie's left, and there'll probably be Shaq who leaves, who's won that Premier League, and there'll be other players who've left since that Premier League winning squad, but they've got a point to prove, and Liverpool with a point to prove is a very, very dangerous side, isn't it? We seen that after we lost the final in Kiev. We had a point to prove, and we went gung-ho and went and won that Champions League the following year. We won the league the following year after that because we were so close that year. Now, Liverpool had arguably the worst season they've had in under Klopp and still finished third.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that says a lot about the league last year, but still we have to do it.
Yeah.
We're the same as anyone else. We've got to play them games that get put in front of us. And it was the times during that season, I was thinking, we'd be lucky to make Europa League. And I thought, times, I don't want to make Europa League because we don't deserve it.
Yeah.
But when Alisson scored that header, which needs a mention every week, by the way, when he scored that header, that changed everything. That was the moment where it was like, it's happening.
Well, there's a video with Tony Bellew and Carragher for the Lad Bible, and Bellew said he just knew when Alisson was coming up. It's just a typical cop-out thing that happens, and I was sat there laughing when he said it, because I was like, he's right though, isn't he? Like we do have a bit of luck on our side sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, look, and you earn it, and you deserve it, because we've had so much bad luck as well.
Yeah,
but it's just that the good luck moments are that monumental. Everyone remembers them.
Yeah, I think last season
you look at that like things like the Istanbul final that saved by Dudek. That was like, call it genius, call it luck, whatever. It was a monumental moment. No one will remember. I don't know, earlier on that season, if Jimmy Traore scored an own goal or whatever.
Yeah,
that sort of bad. You'd only remember that the absolute moments like that.
I see, and I think we deserved it last year, especially Alisson Becker. I think, given everything that he went through, for him to be every moment in the season, you can pinpoint something. So I'd say that when Liverpool won the league, it was that sour goal against United, what we spoke about before. Yeah. I think that header confirmed top four for Liverpool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that was the moment everyone went, that's it. That we're not getting back. We're not coming back from that. That's the way we're going now.
I just still can't believe it happened. But looking ahead to the Norwich game, who would you play?
Right. For me, it'd be pretty obvious. It'd be Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Konate, Tsimikas.
You're going to go with starting Van Dijk, yeah, first game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Midfield, Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson, Salah, Mane, Firmino. I go with that
trusted one.
Block, that 11, yeah. And then see how they go. Get the game won in 20 minutes and then start making subs.
but that's what we done against Norwich last time they came. I remember first game of the season. It was 2 years ago. Like, it was the first, when the year we won the league, and I was up in the I was up in the Upper Annie Road end, and it was like 3-0 in the first half. I think I remember Divock Origi got every goal. Van Dijk scored, I think. Now, don't get me wrong, when I got a little notification 2 days ago saying Jurgen Klopp says Van Dijk and Gomez are fit for the start of the season, does that mean where it's like this play, like, and it's like Vince McMahon going, no, yeah. I literally, that was like my reaction when I seen that Virgil van Dijk was fit for the start this season, because I think we've all been waiting long enough to see that man start a Premier League game. But I'm with Carragher on the camp of doesn't need to be played. Against Norwich, Virgil van Dijk is not needed, in my opinion. So I'd rather Van Dijk wait 5 weeks before he starts a game and then we have him for 5 years than start now and we have him for a year before he's injured again. The first game where Van Dijk's massively important is Manchester City.
I think every game is important for Virgil van Dijk. Get him in.
Yeah.
Put him in goal. Okay, just get him on the pitch.
I mean, for me, tomorrow I'd probably go Alisson, Trent, and I think it'll probably be Matip and Konate. Purely because Konate needs to gel to the Premier League, and he's not going to be able to gel to the Premier League in games against your likes of Everton, Cities, West Ham's, established Premier League teams.
Yeah, with so much passion going on in the games.
Yeah. And with Norwich, they're a recently promoted side, so nobody in the league really knows how they're going to come up. So with Konate, I feel like that's the perfect game to start him. Then Tsimikas will be on the left, I think, and then we'll have Fabinho as a holding midfielder, and then we'll have. I'm gonna go with Elliot and Henderson.
You're missing Thiago out, yeah?
Yeah, because he's only had one game in pre-season. He came back quite late. I know Henderson came back late as well, but he probably played about the same amount, didn't he? He had a little bit of a knock though, didn't he, Thiago, when he came back? I think he came back a few weeks earlier. He came back with Shaqiri, but he had a bit of a knock, so didn't play again until the Osasuna game? Was his first game?
I think so, yeah.
So I don't think he'll. I mean, he's come out and said he's ready for it. So if he's ready, he's ready. But I don't think he'd play. And then I feel like up front you're going to go Mane, Jota, Salah.
You're leaving Bobby out after that performance?
Yeah, because I feel like Bobby's going to come back for the Burnley game at Anfield.
Don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against Jota playing.
Yeah,
I think he's brilliant. Personally, from my point of view, I just think Bobby did too much in that last game.
Do you think he could shock us though, Klopp, and maybe do a madness and start Minamino or something?
Yeah, again, deserves it. Minamino deserves a start after that pre-season. So whoever he plays,
I'd even go as far as saying I'd start.
I wouldn't have an issue with.
I'd go as far as saying I'd start Elliot, Keita and Fabinho midfield. Henderson's probably fit, but he's only had a smaller pre-season than the likes of Naby Keita. So
how is it to have all these options though? Like last year, we were scraping about for academy players to throw in.
I know, and it's good to. I mean, it's not good that Robbo's injured, but I mean, out of all the players to lose in pre-season, Andy Robertson was probably the best of a bad bunch to lose, in a sense of, if you lose Van Dijk, you're like, oh my God, again. If you lose Trent, Nico Williams is nowhere near as good as Trent. Where at least with Kostas Tsimikas, he does get forward and is as exciting getting forward as Andy Robertson. So out of the whole team.
And he can be a little shit out as well.
Yeah,
Andy Robertson.
And he calls, what I love about Kostas, he calls himself a Greek scouser. He's amazing. He'll go down in history for me for that. But I mean, out the two positions,
club, hasn't he?
Yeah, but the two positions in our team, I think that we cannot lose is, well, three positions is Van Dijk, and Alisson.
Yeah,
I think and Trent. I think Kostas can do a job for Robbo. I think there's enough midfielders who can do a job, providing they aren't covering centre backs, and there's enough attackers. So I just still don't understand the meltdown and why we haven't bought anyone. Because when you delve into the squad, we've pretty much got two players for every position. Now, when you look at centre back, I'd go as far as saying Liverpool have got the best four centre backs in the world. When fit.
I don't know about that.
When fit,
We've got the single best centre back in the world, but I think the rest is a little bit misread.
No, when fit, Joel Matip is the second best centre half in the world. When fit. I mean that. He is class. When Joel Matip's fit, there is no doubt on how good he is.
He's very good. He's very, very good. I think you're giving him a little bit too much.
Who's better than him in the league?
No, you said the world.
Who's better than him in the world?
Chiellini.
Nah.
No, I can name anyone. I can go out with like Roger Moore.
But I mean, like, and even in the league, like, you look into the league, I genuinely believe there's no one stronger at the back than Liverpool.
More I meant there, by the way.
But I mean, like, the only one maybe you could argue, like, yeah, he's up there, probably would be Ruben Diaz. But like I said before, I don't rate him. I really don't rate him. He's a good centre-back, but he's not one of the best in the world. He hasn't revitalised Manchester City. They didn't win the league because of Ruben Diaz. They won the league because the rest of the league was crap. West Ham finished 6th or 5th. It says it all. Like, but speaking of that, where do you think we'll finish this year? I know you're going to come back with you've got a bet on it. You can't say anything otherwise.
I've got money coming in if we win the league. Yeah, top. I mean, I don't think it'll be comfortable.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea and City are really strong and they're going to push us all the way. But it's ours. Like, I have got no doubt in my mind. I don't care if we lose the first 3 games of the season. We're still winning the league.
I'm like you, there was a prediction thing went round yesterday after match of the day. Hound does, and everyone was saying, what's your predictions for the year? And I put Liverpool as to win the Premier League and the Champions League. Now, when you done the predictions last season, I wish I had the book on me. My surprise was at Everton. I mean, do you know what I was looking at? We actually did get a few things right in terms of positions. But I've put Liverpool down for the League and Champions League. Now, I think Liverpool will do the double. Because there's not a more that I think every club in world football will be out to knock PSG out. But they obviously are the favourites. You know what I mean? Like, that seems a joke. It shouldn't happen. I honestly believe their owners are playing FIFA. Like, he's played FIFA too much. Because it's just the maddest summer. How on earth is financial fair play stopped Barcelona getting Messi, but PSG can have him? You know, how are we living in a world where the best young keeper in world football goes on a free? One of the best midfielders in world football in Wijnaldum goes on a free. One of the best central defenders ever in Ramos goes on a free. And the best player of all time goes on a free.
Goes on a free, yeah.
It's ridiculous how that can happen. But I think we win the Champions League as well. I think we win it all. Is there anything that you really, really want us to win this year aside from the league?
No. I don't care. Well, not that I don't care, but I think priority is to get that league title. I don't want to slip away.
Yeah.
I don't want to come away from that winning mentality in the league, because it's so easy to slip away. Look at what happened to Man United for years. I don't want that to happen to us.
Exactly that. Well, when I was watching Gary Neville's thing with Carragher and Keane, the overlap, I didn't know. It's been about 14 years since Arsenal won a league. And it's been nearly 10 years since United won the league. Now, when you put it into context, like I know we waited 30 years, but Arsenal are nearly halfway to 30 years. United are at 10 years. Now, if you would have asked me as a kid, United are going to go 10 years without winning a league, I would have bit your hand off. Because you were winning there every year, do you know what I mean? So, but for me this year, the one cup I really want us to win is the FA Cup.
I mean, that'd be a nice little side.
We haven't won it since Steven Gerrard.
It's got to be alongside the Premier League.
Yeah, alongside the Prem. The Prem, I no qualms. I know we're going to win the Prem. I'm so confident. But the FA Cup we haven't won since 2006, since Gerrard won us. And Henderson's won everything bar the FA Cup in his career. If he wins the FA Cup, he's won everything. Now, if rumours are to be believed, then Henderson probably will not renew his contract and leave in 2 years. For me, that is 2 years to win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Because I'd love Henderson to leave as one of the most decorated captains ever, because the amount of stick he gets from other teams. If Henderson leaves and he's won everything, he's in an elite club. I think the only ones in that are the people who played for United and Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken, like your Drogbas, your Keanes and stuff like that. Like he's in that club. Do you know what I mean? He's already, in terms of honours, surpassed Gerrard. He'll never surpass Gerrard in terms of ability, but in honours, he has. So he needs that FA Cup.
Yeah, as I say, I'm all for the FA Cup as a side dish.
I'm for everything. We're going to win the quadruple. Fuck.
You get your money on it.
So before we go, Giz, a score prediction then for the Norwich game. Surely it's got to be a
4-0.
big one. 4-0?
4-0.
Scorers?
Salah's going to get a couple. Bobby Firmino's going to get one. And Virgil's going to get one.
I'd love it. I'm going to go 4-1. Because Liverpool always like to concede a goal, I think. And I'm probably going to go similar scorers, but I think Naby Keita, if he plays, will score.
Yeah.
I think Salah will get one. And I'd really, really like Sadio Mane to get two. Because if Mane gets two, he's instantly above Salah. That pushes Salah constantly from day one.
Yeah.
And then that gives Mane that confidence that I think he needs. I think if Mane doesn't score early on in the season, it'll drag out where he scores pretty much first game. And what a first game to have it. We love a game against Norwich. But Carrow Road is hard. We've seen with that game when Lallana got the last minute winner. It's a hard ground to go when it wants to be. But I think it's vitally important Sadio Mane scores tomorrow for his season. Because he's a confidence player. But like I said before, I do not care about this game. I just want all them lads back at Anfield next week. And I think the players are probably in a similar... I'm not saying they don't care about Norwich, but they probably
They're going
can't
to be
wait.
buzzing a lot more for Anfield, aren't they?
Yeah,
Without doubt.
and it's
Without doubt.
full. It's full. We've got 55,000 of us in that.
You're gonna have to start queuing now to get in, though, aren't you? that was a joke getting into that crowd.
Them tickets, right? I've seen a lot of hate for them. It'll work, but it's also a bit isolating audience. So, like, for someone like me, for example, do you know when you pay by your phone, if you're paying by your bank card, that's how you get into the ground. So, for someone like me and you who probably use our phones to pay more or less every day, it's easy. Yeah. But for example, when I was queuing, you see older people trying to figure phones out. Now, with a lot of these older people have probably only been bought smartphones by the family to get into the ground. So I think they should have it. You should have a choice. Yeah, you should have a choice. Do you want the card or do you want the phone? And then there was someone behind me in that friendly queuing up, and he had 6 tickets on the one phone. So he's going through the turnstile and having to pass his phone back to kids to scan the ticket.
Right,
and then you've got like 5-year-olds trying to scan this ticket up here. And they can't. You know, where usually if you had a card, it's dead easy. So I understand why they've changed it to being with the times, and the first people to do it was Tottenham, and your phone can guide you to your seat, and the technology behind Tottenham Stadium is incredible.
That's fine, but that should be an option, not a requirement. Requirement, you know.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd show you on my phone, but I'd probably start getting all my tickets from. But like on your wallet on your phone now, your members card's there, not an actual physical card. So it's like you're paying them £24 for a bit of pixel. You're not even getting something physical anymore. Ridiculous. But if it means that Henry's going to go and buy his Mbappe in a few days, then
all for it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. But nice of coming on. We're back for the new season. I hope everyone likes the new graphics and stuff like that. We've got a few very, 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 very cool interviews lined up. So before I do go, I'll let you know the Redscast is staying as it was the past 2 seasons, where we review games and build up to games, talk after every game. But I'm also going to throw the added spice of a few cool interviews in there, and I have had some massive, massive guests confirmed from now till Christmas. So I don't even want to throw a teaser out there, to be honest with you, because I just want to just drop everyone like a bomb, to be honest, because there's some massive guests who I didn't even think was obtainable. But before I go, I want everyone to get down. I'm actually hosting a book launch about Billy Liddell, which is insane. I done a podcast with Peter Kenny Jones last Sunday, and then he gave me a message and asked me would I be willing to host this book launch about Billy Liddell at 100. So make sure you get down to Waterstones on the 11th of November between 6 and 8. You can meet Peter Kenny Jones. He's a football historian, wrote an amazing book, well connected with the club. You're probably going to have a few people from the club down there as well. You get to see me hosting it, popping the questions. It's going to be heavy, and the Redscast has put us in that position. So the Redscast on tour, make sure you get there. But hopefully you win Norwich, hopefully you win the Prem, and we'll see you all probably on Wednesday next week. Up the Reds.
Bye.